finally get that chance to start now?
Different film, I could say it is. Working together as a unit and just learn the technique towards things, and everything's going pretty smooth. Back in the days.
It seems like it's taken a lot of patience for you to get to this point.
I feel like it's worth it. Everything is worth it.
How did last year and the role you were in back now to keep helping out a lot of things, how did that make you better off?
It just makes me more versatile to work wherever. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm able to adjust to whatever coach needs to, whatever we're slacking, and I feel comfortable.
Is it make it easier on you as an athlete though? We're halfway through spring, and they've pretty much said like he's our starting right guard this fall. Does that help you as an athlete, that focus you now get to have? He's got a secondary to start.
It helps me a lot, especially in the way I train. More buy into like the details of my technique and everything. It helps me a lot. It also brings motivation to keep it going.
Does a rapport start to kind of build with the guys on either side of you, and how does that help?
Repeat that?
Do you start to build sort of a connection or some chemistry with the guys on either side of you, and how does that help with these next 5 years?
We all watch film together, and we all find a way to work together and communicate once we're on the field. So once we're on the same page, everything goes well. And we are getting better and better, and I'm communicating a lot more.
Do you think about how versatility, whether it's on the inside, whether it's at center or whatever, do you feel like that helps? Do you think about how that may help you at the next level?
Yeah, it definitely does, because technique-wise, everything is different, and it's good to learn different techniques towards different positions. So it really helps a lot.
And was that something that you kind of came into college? You were like, yeah, this is something I want to play multiple guard spots. I want to learn how to play center. Like is that something that you did in high school, or is that something that kind of emerged while you were here?
I could say it mostly went in high school and then it emerged here. Just being able to just learn every position is pretty good, and I'm pretty sure it helps to the next level.
Why is it important?
Because anything can happen. Anything can happen. It could be a bad day for somebody, and then you just gotta step in.
What are you most focused on during the spring? Most focused. What are you most focused on during the spring?
Technique. Everything is technique. How to work my hands or work my stats. Everything is technique.
How long does it take for your body after a season is over to kind of feel like you get back to whatever baseline is for you?
Recovery is a big thing. So I'm always recovering most of the times. Just on and off the field, always in here recovery. So at the same time, just train my mind to keep going, and whatever happens, happens. It's adjustable.
How'd you feel about where you were from like a fitness standpoint at the end of the year?
I felt like I was at a good spot from the beginning of the year to actually the end. I feel like I need to at least get better at where I'm at now, fitness-wise.
So what'd you do over the off-season to work on that?
Right now I've been doing like parachute runs, just getting more conditioning in.
Cool. Matt, what did you learn from some of the guys who have played ahead of you these last few years that can propel you this year?
I learned a lot from Josh Myers. I learned a lot from Nick Fatigue and everybody else. Just the little details that some of us may overlook, it counts. And sometimes you may overlook it, and it's very important. So just train their minds, just keep going, just focus on little things, just improving it makes a big difference. And that's what I'm picking up on.
And I know everyone goes through their own journey here. Not everybody, not even position-wise, just everyone kind of does their own thing. As an offensive lineman, though, is it a little bit easier to have patience because of the way you kind of need to develop into the college game and whatnot?
I can't say it's a little bit easier, because I'm saying your chances of on the field, it's very slim. Then from a defensive standpoint, we actually rotate to a certain point. It's just about just executing whenever it's time, whenever you get the shot. You just gotta show up.
But you've done enough to rotate. They found a way to rotate you in. I think that probably says something positive about you, right?
Yes, sir.
And the guys that were playing ahead of you mentioned Josh, Wyatt, those guys are now off in the NFL. Do you look at that and say, all right, now's my chance to be one of those guys?
Oh yeah, most definitely. And I always call Josh Myers for tips and stuff like that based on film and just regular technique of how we're supposed to set towards certain positions and certain plays. And I'll get a lot of feedback from these guys, and I thank them a lot too.
Matt, what's it been like learning from Coach Fry these first couple of springs?
It's been amazing. I learned a lot from him, and technique-wise, it's a big change, and it's very helpful, and I really appreciate it.
What change in the technique is different? Like what's being taught to you new that you didn't maybe know before?
Just know how to control and attack the block. Really work your feet and attack the block.
Has justice changed much with the offensive line room, Coach Fry?
I feel like everybody has been doing pretty good. Everybody has opened up with open arms and taken in the training. And that's what we do is keep it positive inside the unit and we want to learn.
When you're used to Coach Stud for the last few years, new guy comes in, how much transition is there, or is coaching offensive line, you trust a guy and you just kind of trust what he tells you?
I mean, even when Coach Stud was there, he was a pretty good coach.
Yeah.
I really thank him for that. And even with the adjustment with Coach Fry, it'll be like it's the same thing. You take a coach in, you just learn from it and just trust.
Are there any differences that, practice stuff or things that you've noticed between the two so far?
I feel like they're a lot similar. There's probably little tweaks of how the way we control blocks, but other than that,
Coach Day, I think, was asked the other day about, specifically in the running game, when you had 4 guys who had played tackles last year on the offensive line, if that had any impact. Have you guys seen maybe things open up a little bit more now that you have guys who, came here to play guard actually playing guard? Has that changed anything in practice?
I feel like everybody is. I feel like when it comes to position to come in as a tackle or a guard, I feel like it doesn't really matter because at this point, like anything could happen. I said that you can be the next level where you're not a tackle and you have to adjust to a guard or center. So I just feel like it's not really such a big deal about it. I may be wrong by saying that, but I think it's not such a big deal.
You'd know better than I would.
Everybody's good. I feel like everything's good.